I got to tell you, of all the things we've done, this little light up graphic we've got here with the super sophomores, with light bulbs flashing, signifying that the light has come on in year number 2, maybe the best work we've done.
We spent the entire budget on the marquee right there.
Yeah, so, that's a month worth of Sully's salary right there.
It's gone.
I mean, it's right there. It's nice. I feel it's kind of Tinseltownish.
Yeah,
Hollywoodish.
You like that? Well, let's rip through these here. We've got a handful of guys. I'll start Leonard Floyd with the Bears. Man, he was outstanding the other night, and you see somebody wafer thin. You know, that was kind of the knock on him. He's ultra athletic. Talk about a big-time burst up the field, but I don't know if he's strong enough. Well, he's proven he can get home and get after the quarterback in a variety of ways. You see him on loops and twists. You see him win with speed outside, and he's got a little bit of speed to power that I think some people question about him. I think he's shown he can do that as well. He's off to a great start.
He is off to a great start. And I'm going to say this because I was hesitant on Leonard Floyd because you didn't necessarily see the production in college. And it reminds me, and I'm reminded, whenever Vic Fangio is a defensive coordinator, and there's a long, lanky guy, much like an Alden Smith, he understands what he looks for in a pass rusher, and he always positions those guys to really have success as pass rushers. Leonard Floyd has certainly benefited playing in a scheme that is catered to him. Jared Goff is a guy that has stood out to me in a second year because after the first year, there were so many people that were ready to affix the B word on him. Bust, he can't do it, he can't play, such a disappointment. But what we've seen is a young player grow right in front of our eyes. Not only has he matured as a player, he is now in a system under a coach that understands how to get playmakers open. Sean McVay has put him in his comfort zone. We're seeing the ball come out on time. We're seeing a very accurate thrower. We're seeing a guy who really has a lot of poise and composure in the pocket. Jared Goff is playing like a #1 overall pick, and there are a lot of factors that have contributed to it, but the talent has always been there. I've always believed that he was more Matt Ryan-like in his play. I think we're kind of seeing that in L.A. this year.
I think you talk about the poise. I think you talk about the placement. Those are the two things that make him go. When he shows you that poise and comfort level inside the pocket, you know he's going to be able to place the ball accurately. He's a very accurate thrower. Was that at Cal? Let's stay inside the Pac-12, and let's go to a linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Myles Jack and what he's been able to do this year. Buck, we thought it was an absolute steal. You know, you had the concerns about his knee. That's why he fell to the second round. Last year, I thought maybe have more of an impact right away. It didn't happen, but that light has most definitely come on now. He is all over the field. You can see him in coverage. You can see him close. You can see the range. Myles Jack looks like he's the fastest guy in the field with Jalen Ramsey when they're out there, and those are two guys that could be special for this Jags defense.
I mean, this team has invested well in their defense. So you think about the number of high picks they've committed to the defense side of the ball. Myles Jack was a guy that should have been a first-round pick, had the knee issue, dropped to the second round. Him and Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler making appearances. Some of the other guys that they brought in free agency. That defense is outstanding. Myles Jack, though, is the point.
All right, why don't you give me another quarterback? We've already done Goff here. I think we got another one that's
another one? There's another one out there? There's another one out there that's playing pretty well. How about Carson Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles?
There you go.
Who is absolutely balling. He's a guy that we thought could be a special player. When he was coming out, I kind of liked him a little bit to Cam Newton in terms of his special ability. Not necessarily as a runner, but being a big guy that's athletic and versatile, can throw darts. He has been a flamethrower. There you see 1,300 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, and the weapons around him, as they've upgraded, you're allowed to see his talent. The Philadelphia Eagles are a legitimate contender in the NFC because they got a legitimate quarterback that can make plays.
And you talk to folks back there, they'll tell you, look, he's taken complete ownership of this team. It is his football team. He's a great leader, and they're giving him more responsibility in terms of building a game plan as well as at the line of scrimmage. So he's definitely taken that leap here in year number 2, exactly what they wanted to see in Philadelphia. How about a wide receiver from Notre Dame and what he's doing for the Houston Texans?
Hey, Will Fuller, we talked about Deshaun Watson's game really being surprising. I think part of the reason it's been a surprise is because Will Fuller has been a guy that can put the ball in the paint. There we see just in 2 games, 6 catches, 4 touchdowns. That's a nice
ratio.
Nice rate. The big thing that he's added is the deep ball threat. His ability to push the ball down the field uncovers DeAndre Hopkins, creates some big plays for the Houston Texans offense. And as his chemistry continues to grow with Deshaun Watson, I think you're going to continue to see them light up the scoreboard down in Houston.
Getting him healthy and on the football field has been a big impact for this offense and a huge boost there to young quarterback in the rookie Deshaun Watson. All right, last one. Let's stay at the receiver position. Going there in training camp to Kansas City and getting a chance to watch how they were using Tyreek Hill and everything they plan on doing with him. Not a surprise really to see. I mean, we saw the touchdowns last year, especially in the return game, kind of some gadget plays. Now you're seeing him function as a legitimate wide receiver as well as everything he can do in the return game. And you see it right now, 25 catches, 356 yards, and 2 touchdowns, plus everything he gives you in the return game. He's a super soft.
I mean, he's the fastest guy on the field every time he walks on the field. His ability to get from 0 to 60 in a hurry changes the game. Not only has he encouraged Alex Smith to push the ball down the field, he has made this Chiefs offense one of the more exciting offenses to watch. Tyreek Hill is a monster. He has given them more bang for the buck. I know he came into the league kind of viewed as a returner only, a gadget player. This guy is an offensive weapon that can score from anywhere on the field.
All right, stay with the Chiefs. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive lineman there has done a nice job.
Hey, Chris Jones coming out of Mississippi State was a guy that was a really, really nice player. Nice prospect. We thought he would come in and make some plays, but he's really been terrific on the inside. His ability to hustle and chase, push the pocket, create turnovers, be a disruptive presence has continued to help the Kansas City Chiefs have a nice defense that can take over the game. Chris Jones is a legitimate fire plug on the inside.